Good afternoon. I'm your host, Brian Duncan.
I'm Paul Ragone.
And welcome to the 7th episode of the Knoxville Financial Q&A. Today, we had a really good question from a young couple that was really trying to seek some answers on whether they should get a Trump account or a 529. And we thought that was so good that we wanted to actually talk about it.
Yeah, so the Trump accounts are basically brand new. The Trump account allows you to, your kid basically gets $1,000 for free if they were born in 2025 through 2028.
Yep. 18 and under can still open an account. They just don't get the $1,000.
Correct.
They just have to have a valid Social Security number.
We can try to avoid political conversation here. I think if you just look at the account name and rule it out, you're possibly doing your child a disservice in the long run.
Sure.
Politics aside, it's a pretty darn good account, really.
Yeah. So the key takeaways on the Trump account, it's a $5,000 per year contribution limit, but there is no income restriction. So like if you make $50,000 a year, if you make $500,000 a year, doesn't matter. It's a deferred investment vehicle. So basically the guardian doesn't have to pay the taxes on it. So they get to kind of defer that till the child becomes age of majority, which I think is 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's really cool is they have the ability to convert that to a Roth, which is something probably not well known and not yet talked about a bunch, which I think becomes probably one of the most valuable, I wouldn't say loopholes, but currently it's one of the most valuable caveats to the Trump account.
If you don't convert it to a Roth, it's automatically going to convert to a traditional IRA.
Yeah.
So in a Trump account, the investment selections are kind of limited, but the cool thing is it's capped at a 0.10% fee, which is extremely low.
Right.
Right. So you can't open a Trump account through me or Brian.
Right.
It's got to be done, what is it, online?
Through the IRS. So
Okay.
Whenever you file your taxes, your tax person should hand you form, I think it's 4445.
I don't know. It starts with a 4.
It has to do with Trump's. He was the president, so it was the 40.
Oh, so 4547?
4547. That's it. So the form is 4547, and so once you get that form filled out, they have one.
Interesting. I didn't know the form was named after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and like Brian said, there's a $5,000 contribution limit per year. That doesn't have to be directly from you. It could be from your parents.
Anybody,
right?
yeah.
Right? Any family member.
Realistically, I don't even know if it's classified to family members. I think anybody, realistically, you could have other, but either way, you're still going to be depositing through your own family members.
Correct.
But yeah, if somebody wanted to throw some cash in a pile, you could do that too.
Yeah. So so when it does convert to a traditional IRA, if you don't do the Roth, it's going to be under your kid's name. It won't be under your name.
Yeah, and the cool thing is you don't have to use it for retirement. So you don't have to convert it to the Roth or the traditional. They can actually use it, just pay taxes on it. So if they wanted to buy their first house or use it to go to school or anything else, they can use it for that as well.
Yeah, and from traditional IRAs, at least the way current laws are written, you can take $10,000 out for a first-time home purchase without a tax penalty.
So it's a good way to do both. You can use it for retirement and for your purchase.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the Trump account.
Yep, in a nutshell.
Pretty straightforward. And now let's talk about the 529s.
Yeah, so 529, it's a wonderful vehicle if you know your kid's going to college. I'd say that's probably the caveat. They keep broadening the definitions. I've been doing this so long, you know this as well as I do. When the 529 first started, you couldn't even use it to buy a laptop. And now they've just broadened it to be much better.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where, and I think you'd probably agree with this, that it's almost worth doing no matter what at this point. We'll tell you why.
Yeah. One of the caveats here is that college degrees seem to be becoming less important, right?
Yep.
And now we have AI, and some of these degrees are going to be kind of worthless in some ways. And you might have a whole bunch of student debt. Although University of Tennessee has the most amount of students they've ever had currently.
It's crazy.
Right? And so that's just something to keep in mind. You know, I think college is important for sure, but at some point, AI is going to be handling a lot of that workload, and trades are going to be significantly more important. You're going to need someone to come over to fix your HVAC system,
Plumbing,
all that kind of stuff, and AI is not going to be able to do that.
Although I did see an AI-powered roofing robot thing that was pretty nuts. Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Really? Well, I know they have AI lawnmowers too, which...
Hey, maybe they'll come for trades at some point too, but
Yeah.
for right now, no.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's just something that you have to consider. If you're going to invest in a 529 plan, that...
The main benefit.
Yeah, the main benefit
education.
is education for sure. But you put all this money into it, and it comes out tax-free to pay for qualified education.
Yep. However, in 2024, as we found out, they made some serious changes which allow you to do a Roth conversion on part of it.
Yeah, so let's say your kid doesn't go to college or doesn't use all of the money that's in the 529 plan, even if they go to college. That money can be converted to a Roth IRA.
Which is pretty cool.
Very, very cool. So that just happened in 2024. And so there's a lifetime contribution limit of $35,000 on that, but you can't convert it all at once. So you still have to follow the Roth IRA contribution limits. So you do it over a period of years.
Yep.
Up to $35,000, which is incredible.
Typical rule of thumb would have just been to wait till your kid has the ability to work in a business if you own a business, and this is if you own a business.
Right.
And then you had to pay them a wage, and then you could take that wage, I think it was up to like $14,000 a year, and you could take 100% of the wage that you paid them and contribute that to the Roth. That's crazy though, because that was what you had to wait on. Now you don't have to.
Right. If you want your kid to have a Roth IRA, I mean, the only way to do that was if your kid had income.
Yeah.
Right? So this is kind of like a loophole almost, where you can contribute to a 529 and eventually convert that money to a Roth IRA.
Is there a taxes on that Roth conversion, or is it just simply you get to Roth convert?
So no, there are no taxes, but there are some caveats to this whole thing.
Okay.
First, the 529 plan has to be open for at least 15 years. Okay. And the last 5 years of contributions are not eligible to be rolled over. So they either need to be used for qualified education or
spent.
Or spent. Also, the Roth IRA must belong to the 529 beneficiary. So if you name your kid the beneficiary in the 529 plan, the Roth IRA has to be titled under that kid's name as well. Can't be your Roth IRA if you have one.
Right. Yeah, well, what's cool about the tradition, or about the 529 though, is you can roll it from child to child.
So, but just remember, guys, there's a $35,000 lifetime limit. So let's say your kid doesn't go to college, and you got $50,000 in your 529 plan, and over time you convert that to a Roth, and you have $15,000 left. That $15,000 could also go to another beneficiary.
Right. Yeah, the biggest difference between the 529 and the Trump account is that like the Trump account's gonna have a finite amount. You've got $5,000 for that 18-year mark, which I think is $90,000. 91 if you were lucky enough to get the extra $1,000. But like the 529 doesn't have those same things. They just have a max per beneficiary, and I think it ranges between $250,000 to like $600,000 or more. Depending on the state, depending on all the little caveats of the plan. But the biggest thing is just, if I'm going to have money for my child and I want to open up, I would do both probably, I guess is a good summary. But that's a lot of money that has to be put there. So if it's like pick one, I don't know how you pick one. That's a tough call.
Well, I mean, again, it's pretty much like every video that we've made so far. It's client dependent.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
If you are dead set on your kids going to college, 529 plan is the way to go, especially with that
Roth
the
conversion.
Roth conversion thing that they've added recently. That's a game changer. But you also got a free $1,000 in the Trump account. I mean, take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Even if you
for
don't
sure.
fund it.
Yep.
Right.
Even
I don't
if the
think
$1,000 is all you got.
Yeah. I mean, just $1,000 over 18 years is going to, in a low cost index fund, it's going to grow a little bit.
Yeah, make some money.
Right. So take advantage of that.
But that being said, if you're fortunate enough to have an income level high enough to be able to start maxing out all of the avenues, or as much as you can, because it's really going to be hard to max out the 529 because they really don't have a limit. But being able to max the Trump account, being able to at least contribute somewhere in the vicinity of 35 to 40, preferably a little bit more to kind of leave some, because you have to leave some left behind. But if you could do both, would be the ideal scenario. I mean, just from the Roth conversion standpoint, you had to have enough earned income to be able to provide that to your kids before this. Now you have an avenue to do $90,000, $91,000 if you're lucky enough to get that in the Trump account by the time they're 18, $35,000 in the 529 by the time they turn 18. That all has to be done before the 5 years before they turn 18. And that's a magic recipe to set your kids up for having a pretty hefty Roth IRA start. I couldn't imagine, what that looks like. If we put the compound interest calculator, that's probably $2.5 million by the time they're 60 or 65. Yeah. So you figure if you're providing them with a cool $2.5 million, they can coast. Essentially, if you did that for your kid, don't tell them that. They'll spend it all. But yeah, if you could do that for your kid, they could have a nice little job with a 3% matching 401k, barely put in 3%, and probably be in a significantly better spot than most people.
Definitely. And so I guess to put this in order, take advantage of the free $1,000 if your kid is born between 2025 and 2028. Just don't leave that sitting out there on the table. It's free. It's a free $1,000. Use your 529 for the main college savings vehicle.
Yep.
Right. And then if you could, max out the Trump account for your child's future later on, beyond college. There's lots of things they can do with that. And like Brian just mentioned, it could become a significant amount of money between both of these, the 529 and the Trump account.
If you tell them, they're going to use it for a car or house. So don't tell them.
That's the truth. So I guess to sum this up, our clients basically asked us the question of which one is better. They're both good. And you have the ability to fund both of them.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, you don't have to pick one.
You don't have to pick one. Your desire is for your kids to go to college, and that's really important to you. I would probably pick the 529, but I would not leave that $1,000 just sitting out there. Take advantage of it. So I hope that clarifies things a little bit.
Yeah, especially with that being that new. It's a totally new phenomenon. So
yeah, and it's a cool little account. And Brian's going to get to take advantage of that $1,000 here.
Only one of them. One of them will get it. Sorry about your luck.
Yep. Anyway, with that said,
signing off.
Have a good one.